All right, welcome everyone. It has been a while. Finally moved into the new place, so that is, happy to get this episode done and dusted. And now, straight into it. No time to waste. I have got a new mic. Hopefully, it sounds all good. Testing, testing. All right. We'll get straight into it. We'll start with commodities today. Quite a bit to catch up on. So there'll be a lot of context building today. Let's see what oil is doing. And if anything sounds weird, then obviously let me know. But I'm hoping the mic is set correctly. We have approached this supply. Very clean supply up here. And we have nicely rejected from the supply as well. You know what if I do this? I'm just trying to figure out where it would be best for me to put the charts. Probably up here. Move that around. All right. Slightly better. At least now I'm like talking into the mic. Okay. All right. Contextually speaking, we're rejecting from this supply nicely. Do we have demand below? I reckon we do. Yeah, this does look like valid demand. Yeah, that's valid. Do we have any overlapping structural demand above this is the question. Not really. Not really. Also, if you guys can hear the background noise, that is my mum talking in the background, so I'm hoping it's not that annoying. Like, I can hear it, but I'm hoping this microphone blocks out at least like 80% of it. Like not much to do in oil at the moment. Just let this do its thing, really. You know what? One thing I didn't do is, bear with me. Is that better? Let's have a look. Yeah, way better. All right, now at least I got a bit of light. All right. Oil is that's kind of it for oil. Like you can see here, we are showing signs of weakness, as we have respected pretty much every single supply zone above. So yeah, like so far we've kept creating supply. Like you can see a nice little supply chain forming, and prices respected each and every single supply chain. So yeah, in terms of this, I do like what I am seeing. Although we do have demand below, so yeah, I'm patient. I'm just gonna wait and see what we do. Are we gonna respect this demand? Is this supply valid? I don't think it is. I have a feeling this has been mitigated on a much lower time frame. We will see below. Yeah, on the lower time frame, this is not clean supply. However, this is, but it just hasn't really grabbed anything. So if you look at this, you can have it on your chart, but it's not that, it's not that useful. Yeah, because it just hasn't really grabbed anything to its left. Like if it grabbed this high, then absolutely this would have been a really clean supply, but it hasn't. So I'll have it charted for the sake of it, but I'm not expecting much from it. It's not like, yeah, a real, big clear PI that I expect price to bounce off, because like even looking at this from a slightly higher time frame, this is just a wick. So don't expect much from here. Like I think on the 15 you can almost look at this as extreme liquidity. Yeah, which is kind of what I will look at it as. So we'll see what gets respected first, or ran through the supply or the liquidity, or both. So I'll definitely take this supply POI with less sort of importance, just seeing that there is liquidity above it. But yeah, in terms of oil, that's kind of it. That's it for now. Let's go to silver. And man, I'll tell you what, silver's looking like pretty decent. Pretty decent. We've just mitigated the supply. Like really, really nicely. And yeah, and we're slowly moving down to this extreme liquidity. Like there's a lot of play in terms of silver here at the moment. Quite a bit to play with. I'm just curious as to what this supply was valid on. I have a feeling it was valid on the it's valid on its structural 1 hour supply, which is pretty good. Yeah, this is valid. This is very valid market structure, so this counts. Same thing, like at the moment, I'm not really looking for anything in here internally on a lower time frame. I'm kind of just waiting to see which higher time frame levels get either respected or ran through. Like ideal scenario, we get a nice little potential distribution in here like that, and then we can take this all the way down into this extreme liquidity and then run it back up. So that would be the best pre-planning I could do for silver at the moment. But yeah, that's if we might not even come up here. We might just continue going down and then coming into these, you know, extreme liquidity and demand POIs. Yeah, this has been ran through. Same thing, even here, like this demand here, it's not that, I wouldn't put that much significance behind it just because it's same thing. It hasn't swept anything to its left. And then when we look at this on a lower time frame, yeah, it's like it's there, definitely use it, but it's not a big key, you know, POI. Yeah, that is kind of it for silver. That is all I've got. Give me a second. All right. Yeah, so that's kind of it for silver. Let's move on to gold. Gold was looking nice. I had a brief look at this while I was traveling or moving, and like it's shaping up pretty nicely. Technically speaking, I'd be using this as the, like this was a mistake I did make and I've just caught onto this now. I would be using this as the extreme liquidity and not this here. Reason being is because this has already mitigated demand, so you can't use this as an extreme liquidity point. Once something's been mitigated or it's fulfilled its purpose, it can no longer be used as an extreme liquidity. This can be used as extreme liquidity as it has not mitigated any form of demand or key demand. The other thing I am actually noticing as well is we have really nice equal lows here. Yeah, like these are really, these are pretty nice equal lows, so can definitely use these equal lows as a liquidity target. Yeah, pretty similar to what we talked about with silver. Like ideally, if gold can do some form of, or create some form of distribution like this, and then flush back down into these extreme liquidity POIs, that is our ideal, you know, pre-planning. But for now, we just got to be patient and see what price does. This is a valid but pointless supply. Hasn't done anything. This has been mitigated. So yeah, in terms of gold at the moment, I'm just going to be patient. We have somewhat of a structured demand below us. I'll be going into crypto either in the second half of this video, depending on how long it takes, or I will be making a separate video and dedicating it entirely to crypto, and that'll make it easier to upload as well, because it'll just be two slightly shorter videos than one crazy 2-hour long video. Yeah, that's it for. That's probably too long. It's not a chance of front running this. We're probably gonna mitigate it fairly soon. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's it for gold. Let's start with some Forex. The OGs had this pre-planned, ran through, or invalidated if you want to call that, ran through supply. We're kind of just in a shitty, like rangy environment at the moment. So I'm just going to let price continue to do its thing. Valid 4-hour demand. Fairly similar though, it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere, so don't expect much. Let's build some context here. I think contextually speaking, we broke our 2-week downtrend. So let's draw market structure from here. Don't ask why this is yellow for me. It's just yellow. Okay, technically speaking, we have not broken structure. We've just SFP'd our 2-week market structure high. If we look on the monthly, however, this will give us a better indication. Oh, we can start from here, that's fine. Same thing. We are SFPing our current monthly level. So depending on how we close, technically speaking, we have broken our monthly market structure to bullish. Like, it's a sketchy, but it is a valid break. Reason being is you first had an SFP here, so that would have been an SFP in real time, start of March, but then the second candle closed bullish above. So this is a valid break of structure on the monthly. So yeah, we can expect to go higher, and then at some point we can expect a pullback. So that would, technically speaking, that is expectational order flow in AUD USD is higher. Yeah, this was where we had our attempted arranging environment. But at the moment, I'm not seeing anything worthwhile for AUD USD. Just curious to see if we continue climbing up higher, which I'm expecting we do, at least in the long run. We might have some more pullbacks now, but But yeah, that is AUD USD. Yeah, and then locally is not much here. From a local standpoint. Let's go to Euro USD. Clear demand below. Saw that straight away. It's just not, like, it is demand, but it's not really valid because the candle hasn't closed. And this isn't valid market structure because we have an inside bar candle right here. So although it's valid, although we have a valid trend like this is not valid because this is an inside bar candle so far. If this closed above here, then yeah, you can deem this a break of structure. And then you can also use the 6 candle rule to draw demand. But for now, it's not valid demand because, yeah, even on the 30, it's not valid. Is it valid on the 15? Not valid on the 15. You can kind of pull this as a structural demand. It's just, I'm just not a fan of how this, of this price action. We'll build some context as well. Yeah, we're technically in a monthly confirmed accumulation model. Yeah, we're in a monthly confirmed accumulation model. Where we expect price to complete this accumulation. So yeah, we expect higher for Euro USD. Have we mitigated that? Yeah, we have. Or have we? Yeah, just. That is a terrible drawing. Yeah. Like, you can technically still use that if you want. That is the unmitigated part of the demand. Yeah, not much more to be done at the moment for Euro USD than and we're also front running this third tap POI as well. Yeah, like realistically, I'm expecting this range to. But the thing is, there's just technically it's a valid model 1 with a very, very narrow tap, which was confirmed. Which was confirmed in here. So yeah, like theoretically speaking, all we were doing is hoping for an extended model, for the Model 1 to become a Model 2. So if I was to chart this back, it's not it's not nice, but it's a confirmed mod 1, which our pre-planning was that we get some sort of pullback and make this a confirmed model 2 on the higher time frame, and then along the break of structure from there, which never happened like that. But yeah, so theoretically speaking, we can expect this to complete itself. So I'll put my alert there for whenever it does. Euro USD, oh, it did, yeah, as expected. Yeah, that's kind of it for Euro, man. Like, ladies and gentlemen, just expecting for a price to go higher. Yeah, all right. GBP USD. Yeah, we're like, contextually speaking, yeah, we're in this high time frame. Oh, this is way too long to look at. To be fair, we are in a monthly downtrend, which has not yet been broken. So this is our monthly high, which I will set my alerts on it. So yeah, this is our monthly market structure high. Which is probably valid on the 3 month, yeah. 6 month. Yeah, I'm not, you know what, I'm not even gonna, it's just not that useful to look at because it's just such a high time frame, man. Like, yeah, you can obviously get a pivot point when you break this, but like, it's, I would not advise to look at like 6 month highs. Like, you can definitely keep it a bit more local than this. Yeah, like plenty of liquidity above. On the, yeah, that's a valid liquidity high. So yeah, we're still kind of just ranging here at the moment. This will be my range. Like so. Yes, it is fairly high time frame, but there's also no real return to zone, at least at the moment. So I'm gonna like, if I was to ever look at this being a potential distribution, I'll need a really nice and slow return to zone coming into this third tap POI, which, like, yeah, it can always happen, but I wouldn't count on it. But yeah, this is my and that's that's been mitigated on a lower time frame. Yeah, this is my charting on GBP USD. That's really it for the time being. Is my pimple? I'm trying to think. Can this come? Yeah, that's a task for another day. All right, GBP NZD. Broken through this most optimal reverse level, and then I think we completed this accumulation model. Look at this. We definitely grabbed some form of extremes there, which would have probably been that wick. This was yeah. Textbook. Almost sort of textbook because we don't have a clean return to zone here. So yeah, given we don't have a clean return to zone, I would not call this textbook. On second thoughts. Yeah, we're still trending up, like we're in a monthly uptrend. On the weekly time frame, or on a 2-week uptrend as well. That is our weekly. Yeah, that's a valid weekly low. Or 2-week low. So we can label this. This is our 2-week market structure low. And then the weekly low is probably somewhere in here. Notice that's the same. You would just use this 2-week market structure low as that weekly low. So yeah, we haven't broken any sort of, local. We've probably broken a daily downtrend. We broke that here. We are no longer in a daily uptrend. This has been broken. Yeah, daily BOS. So ideally given expectational order flow on the daily, we can expect a pullback ideally into here for a move back down. So that is expectational order flow on GBP and ZD. So yeah, I'm still looking to catch a distribution or some form of distribution. Would be nice if it could be up here. So this is now my new range, which, like, technically speaking, it's setting up nicely to have a third tap, have a second or third tap at this supply area, and like already some nice lows forming. But yeah, that's it for GBP NZD. Just gonna monitor this range. Not much more can be said or done. I will also put my alerts below just in case. All right, USD JPY, that looks crazy. I think I looked at this before. Yeah, we got liquidity below, we got supply above. I'm just going to play the waiting game here and see what price wants to do and where it wants to, yeah. What levels it wants to bounce off. Yeah, everything else is just way too low time frame to try and like look at. So given the higher time frame context, I'm just gonna be a bit more patient. We might have a distribution model forming on the higher time frame, so always be aware of that. Yeah, like just because there is supply here doesn't mean that price might not, do something like even sweep and bounce off this and then reject, and then that's your first deviation. And then you can come back. So yeah, can always expect something like that. But yeah, for the time being, we'll just play the waiting game. That's it for USD JPY. Just be patient. We've had, some rapid moves in and around the market. So yeah, that's it for now. Let's move on to NZD CAD. Mitigated demand nicely here. What was this? In the ideal world, I would have liked some of this hourly supply structure supply to be mitigated. It has been mitigated there, but this has grabbed all these highs. So technically it hasn't. I stand corrected there. It has not. So I wouldn't. Let's see where what the volume area says. It is sort of backed by the volume area high, the supply, so still put importance on it. But look, if we get a clean break, we're also on the hourly here, so you could technically get some sort of sweep, clean break, tight stop, let's say like there. And even if you TP here, you'll still get a nice 4.42 or 4.4 RR. So yeah, we'll just be patient, see what happens, and ideally come into this POI. That's all I got for NZD CAD. There's probably demand there, but we've got liquidity below, so I'm not too interested in this demand. Plus, it has been mitigated on the lower time frame. Next, USD CAD. Are we downtrending? Yes, we are. By quite a bit though, from what I can see. We're still within our deviation limits. I've just got some, well, we have some visitors. I'm hoping this doesn't get interrupted, but it might if you have made it this far. All right, I'll build some higher time frame context here. Where is my audio? All right, just in case I have to mute myself. I'm just not too much of a fan of this range pool. Although it does look nice. The reason I'm not too much of a fan of it is because this is our high. This is our first key high, and this high just front, well, it's not really, this PLI just front ran this high, so like you could technically speaking draw your range like this. Look, I'll deem this a potential distribution model for now. So I will, yeah. I will look at price action here knowing that we are in the premium of a higher time frame range, which has not yet been confirmed, which isn't yet a confirmed distribution. We have liquidity below, obviously. It's like some nice lows, you know, piling up here. One here, two here, a third here. So you can expect these to get taken. And then we also have this really, really nice return to zone here, which I have drawn. But other than that, yeah, there's demand below. Yeah, even like so, seeing here that we don't have a nice return to zone, honestly, I'm going to sack this range off because it's very counter context. You have a lot of reasons for price to come back down, and there's a lot of lows here that need to be taken. Therefore, I don't think price is just going to randomly accumulate and start pushing higher when there's so much more reason for it to go lower. So yeah, that is the context here for USD CAD. Just be patient. Be patient. See what. There's no demand either. Like there's just so much reason for. And then you've got like little demand, little supply above here, or like bits and pieces. So yeah, there's a lot more reason for price to go down than there is for it to go up. Like even here, it's probably been mitigated. It would have probably been mitigated on the lower time frame. Yeah, like just. Yeah, I'm not going to draw anything else here. Just be patient. GBP JPY. This is still valid, and this is where my attention is on GBP JPY. I actually charted this yesterday. Had a quick skim through the charts last night because obviously it's been a few, like a week and a half since I've last logged on, and this is shaping up really nicely, like really nicely. Ideally, return to zone would go something like this, and we come up and mitigate this supply. That is what I am expecting to happen on GBP JPY from a weekly perspective. Yeah, we're obviously in a monthly we're in a monthly uptrend. A very clear and clean monthly uptrend. What is the daily saying? Daily structure has been broken. Daily, was it 2 days? Well, 2 days. Well, nice. 3 day. Yeah, so 2 day structure has been broken here. So this can shape up really nicely. You know, we're trending up. Oh, I'll draw this the correct way. From like here, we're in an uptrend. Structure has not yet been broken. Bang, structure broken right there. So expectational order flow is lower high for a lower low, which can tee up a really clean distribution schematic here on GBP JPY. So I would set my alerts to GBP JPY, and what I will even do is go one step further. If you can, and also if you can catch a local accumulation model in here, go for it, because you know the higher time frame context, you expect a pullback. Like, look how quick and how fast we've dropped. So I'd expect a slight pullback into some extreme supply POIs up here, but I'll move this up to the top for now, and let's move on to Euro GBP. Contextually speaking here, yeah, we're still in this pretty shitty ranging environment. Even this here is like this price action sucks. Can we catch an accumulation in this demand area? Not really. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the price action here at the moment. Like, really not a fan of it. I will put this to the bottom. Hopefully I don't do it twice. Euro NZD. What is going on here? Weekly structure has not yet been broken, so we're still on a weekly uptrend in Euro NZD. We've broken 4-day structure a while ago. Yeah, 4-day structure has been broken, so we do expect lower, theoretically speaking. And we're also running through this demand, so yeah. All indications of price going lower is shown. yeah, given that, I'm kind of expecting this to be a potential range. It's also to note these two candles are a really nice bottom here. Oh, not bottom, but no wick, so you expect these to get taken up at some point. This is not a confirmed range though, hence why I am putting my alerts here just to get alerted when and if this range will be confirmed, but I am still allowed to, and will look for potential distributions in the meantime. Any cheeky low time frame scalps? Yeah, I'm just gonna give this a bit more time. It's just a bit too low time frame to get a scalp in there, but some really nice highs here, like really nice. Really nice liquidity above. All right, USD against the Swiss franc. Ran through. I'm actually going to get rid of this supply because it's, yeah, just pointless. Oh, is it though? Thing is, it's probably grabbed some other highs, but I will leave it. It's clean supply, so it just hasn't grabbed anything to the left, so it's not as significant, but it is clean supply for now. And we've obviously got supply here. Now, unlike most other pairs we've done so far, we are in a very clear downtrend at the moment. We have like just SFP'd this weekly, just SFP'd this weekly high. There we go, SFP on the weekly. So we expect to go lower. That's what this means. And yeah, we've broken the daily back down. So yeah, everything here is in favor of us going lower. If I can get some nice little pullback in here and then a local, you know, distribution model, that would be nice, but I'm not going to count on it. But it's what I expect. So nice lows here, very nice lows there. All right. Looking for an accumulation here is a bit silly because price is favoring us to go lower. I'll trade a distribution if we get up here, but I'm not going to trade us coming up here because it might not, you know, it's not something that I'm how do I explain this? I'll trade if price happens to come up here. I'll trade it in terms of a distribution model, but I'm not going to trade price coming up here because expectational order flow is down. So it's just a matter of like, when are we going to get that pullback? Because we could get a pullback here, or we could continue going down and then get a pullback in here somewhere. But I'm expecting overall direction is down for this pair. So it's just a matter of like when and not if we're going to get the pullback. Well, the pullback will come, but we might even sweep this liquidity and then get a pullback, fill out some more of these inefficiencies, and then come back down. Maybe react here a little bit and then come back down. Maybe react here a little bit and then come back down. So there's many scenarios that can happen at the moment on USD CHF, but we just have to be patient. I'm not going to expect us to randomly accumulate in here. We could, but it's like pretty low chance of happening. So yeah, that is hence why I'm not really I'm not going to, point being, that's why I'm not going to draw this as a range. It's a valid range, don't get me wrong. It's a very valid range, but yeah. And then you've also got supply above. There's also no return to zone. So many reasons to not look at this. Many reasons as to why you should not be looking or paying focus to this potential accumulation model. So yeah, let's see what's happening here. Pretty similar story, I believe. We'll build some context. We're in a massive weekly uptrend here. Yeah. This is our weekly market structure low. I will chart this up. Market structure low. One week. Perfect. How are we looking on the daily? The only thing I don't like is that we've come so low into this, range low. We had this really nice distribution here. Very, very common price behavior, a distribution creating the tap one of a higher time frame distribution model. And the same can go for accumulation models. You might tend to see a little accumulation model form. Let me draw this like here. You might see a little accumulation model form, which will then be the higher time frame tab one for our, this is very common price behavior. You'll get a little accumulation model form here, which creates our tab one. Tab one, then we have our first deviation, then we have our tab two, then we have our tab three. And that is the accumulation model. So when you see price action like this, it's generally, it's like a higher confluence, setup. But the only thing I don't like is that we've wicked so low we pretty much grabbed all the extreme liquidity that there ever was in here. So for us to come back up and grab this extreme liquidity, I expect, there's also supply above, but I expect a really, really slow pullback. It's the only thing that will make me look at this. A real slow pullback. Sweep this and then bang. That is the only thing that would make me, look at this. So for now, alerts are still set. Patience is activated, and yeah, we wait. AUD CAD. Let's build some context. We have broken the downward monthly structure. We're now in the monthly uptrend. Yeah, we're in an uptrend here, so can only expect price to go higher. On the daily, We've broken daily structure, but we've probably broken it back up, yeah. Yeah, and then on the daily as well, we have broken structure back up. So yeah, we're kind of uptrending here. This might be a potential accumulation opportunity. Yeah, we just have to be aware that we do have supply above us, but it is a valid accumulation setup for the time being. Let's see what POIs we have. I have a feeling it's just this extreme liquidity at the moment. Yeah, like on the lower time frame, we've grabbed liquidity, so it's not really a, you know, clean POI. Yeah, technically I'd be using this, just because this is what has grabbed everything here. So this is my extreme liquidity POI. There's probably some form of shitty demand in here, but I put more value on the liquidity below. You know what? We'll chart this demand. All right, this is AUD CAD done for today. AUD CHF. I have a feeling I did this. No, I didn't. Contextually speaking, we're in a weekly downtrend and a monthly downtrend. We are on a daily uptrend. Yeah, price is trending higher. we've obviously just had this we got this supply. Is this valid supply? Yes, it is. That's fine. Like it's... I'll pull it from here because that has been mitigated on the lower time frame. Like at least for now on the daily, contextually speaking, I'm expecting higher. We do have this potential, you know, pair 3 schematic. If we analyze this at a lower time frame, we did have kind of an extended distribution with your tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, and then a very, very sketchy tap 4 here, but it has completed itself. So I will allow that. Could we see an expansion? We could. All the way back down. I don't discount it. So we will see what happens. And yeah, like the price action here shows a really nice return to zone. So like really, really nice. Yeah, point being, I expect lower. As much as we are in an uptrend, which is kind of counterintuitive, I expect lower. We have Alright, so daily we're in an uptrend. This will be an interesting low, the 18-hour low. If we break this, market structure low on the 18-hour, whereas if we SFP, then this will be a very crucial low to break. So if we break this, then I will expect us to continue lower and kind of complete this expansion. Whereas if we SFP it, then that's when it will be interesting. And yeah, I'll be very interested to see what price does. Because yeah, remember, we are still in an uptrend, so can expect us to go higher. Did I look at this earlier? I think I did. Yeah. All right. Long one today, and as we expected, a long one. You know, first time back in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So very excited to get back into the schedule of almost daily uploads. You know, Monday to Friday, and then maybe a weekend check here and there. But yeah, content will definitely start to get pumped out quite frequently again. So we'll be back to normalities, we'll say. But yeah, for now, yeah, watch GBP JPY. We're expecting a distribution here. That is my main pair to watch. We've looked at commodities, we've looked at Forex. I won't touch on crypto at the moment, just in this video, because it will take another hour and a bit. So I'll separate these two. And yeah, I'll start recording crypto pretty soon. And yeah, by the time these come out, there'll be 2 videos anyway. So it'll get pumped out one after the other. But I thank you all for listening, viewing. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, peace and love. I'll catch yous next. I'll catch yous next time. Peace.